Imagine a massive wall stretching across the North Sea, transforming it into a colossal inland lake and reshaping Europe's entire coastline. This is not science fiction, but a visionary and controversial proposal that could redefine the future of energy, climate change, and even geopolitics. But is this bold plan a technological marvel or an environmental disaster waiting to happen? For centuries, humanity has endeavored to conquer nature's most formidable forces, from controlling the flow of rivers to harnessing the unpredictable energy of the wind and waves. But one of the boldest proposals yet takes us to the very heart of Europe's coastlines, where the might of the North Sea could be tamed through an unprecedented engineering marvel. The idea? To build a massive dam stretching across the entire North Sea, transforming it into a vast inland reservoir, potentially reshaping Europe's energy landscape, offering protection against rising sea levels, and creating a new era of technological and environmental innovation. It sounds like science fiction, but this visionary plan is gaining attention as a serious solution to some of the most pressing issues of our time. However, such an ambitious project isn't without its risks and controversies. Would taming the sea lead to devastating ecological consequences? How would the dam impact coastal cities, fishing industries, and marine life? And with the massive scale of this undertaking, what are the geopolitical and economic ramifications for the countries surrounding the North Sea? The plan to dam the North Sea presents a bold and complex vision for the future, but one that comes with difficult questions. Questions that demand exploration before we can ever hope to transform this audacious idea into a reality. As we dive deeper into the possibilities and pitfalls of this insane plan, we must grapple with the fundamental question. Is it possible? And more importantly, is it worth it? Number 1, the vision, turning the North Sea into a massive reservoir. The concept of transforming the North Sea into a vast reservoir is truly remarkable. Imagine a monumental barrier extending across the sea, resulting in a significant inland water body that would fundamentally reshape the geography and infrastructure of northern Europe. This bold initiative, commonly known as the North Sea Dam, would entail the construction of a network of dams, sea gates, and tunnels designed to manage water flow and regulate the sea's depth, effectively turning the North Sea into a large, controlled reservoir. The primary impetus for such a grand undertaking lies in its potential for renewable energy production. By capturing tidal and wave energy, this reservoir could serve as a substantial energy source for neighboring nations. As the global community increasingly embraces green energy solutions, the opportunity to exploit such a vast, naturally available energy resource would be groundbreaking. The dam would operate akin to an energy battery, storing tidal energy during high tides and releasing it during low tides, thereby ensuring a steady and dependable electricity supply for the entire region. However, the implications of this project extend well beyond energy generation. A dammed North Sea could provide vital protection for the coastal cities along its perimeter, many of which are already at risk from climate change and rising sea levels. The reservoir would function as a protective barrier, mitigating the threat of flooding and offering defense against increasingly frequent extreme weather events. This would deliver essential security for millions of residents in cities such as London, Rotterdam, Hamburg, and others. Such a project has the potential to significantly alter the ecosystems within the region. The formation of new land, the establishment of offshore habitats, and the opportunity for new marine species to thrive in this modified environment could yield both beneficial and detrimental effects. While it may open avenues for aquaculture and coastal development, there is also the risk of unforeseen ecological disturbances, particularly affecting existing marine habitats and migration routes. In essence, the concept of transforming the North Sea into a vast reservoir transcends mere water management or energy production. It involves rethinking the interaction between humanity and the natural environment. This ambitious initiative represents a significant move towards utilizing engineering to reshape the ecosystem in pursuit of progress. Yet it presents intricate challenges and potential repercussions that warrant thorough examination. Number 2, a bold idea. why damming the North Sea could transform Europe. The proposal to construct a dam in the North Sea represents a visionary initiative that has the potential to fundamentally reshape Europe in ways that are not yet fully understood. Central to this idea is the utilization of the vast resources of one of the largest bodies of water globally, aimed at tackling several pressing challenges currently confronting the region, including energy generation, climate change, and coastal defense. The magnitude and ambition of this undertaking could serve as a transformative catalyst for Europe, yielding significant environmental and economic benefits. A primary argument in favor of damming the North Sea is its capacity to overhaul Europe's energy framework. The North Sea already hosts some of the most efficient offshore wind farms worldwide. However, this initiative would elevate the region's energy capabilities by harnessing the power of tides and waves. With the dam established, the substantial water flow could be converted into renewable electricity on an unprecedented scale. By capturing tidal energy and developing an extensive energy storage system, Europe could markedly decrease its dependence on fossil fuels, making substantial progress toward achieving carbon neutrality. The capability to store and manage the energy generated by tidal movements would ensure a consistent and dependable power supply, essential for fulfilling Europe's increasing energy requirements while simultaneously addressing climate change. The North Sea Dam has the potential to serve not only as a significant energy source, but also as a formidable defense against the escalating risks posed by rising sea levels and severe weather events linked to climate change. Numerous coastal cities across Europe are already grappling with the threat of flooding, and this dam would function as a protective barrier, safeguarding millions of residents and critical infrastructure from the perils of inundation. Additionally, it would assist in managing storm surges and tidal flooding, thereby offering a degree of security to vulnerable communities that currently lack adequate defenses. Moreover, the establishment of a large reservoir would create new avenues for urban development, agriculture, and transportation. Land could be reclaimed for sustainable agricultural practices, while regulated water levels would facilitate improved management of shipping routes and trade. This initiative could also stimulate economic growth, particularly within the construction and renewable energy industries. Nevertheless, the realization of such a groundbreaking project is not without its challenges. The potential environmental repercussions, financial implications, and the technical difficulties associated with constructing a project of this scale are significant. However, if executed successfully, the North Sea Dam could fundamentally alter Europe's trajectory, offering the continent a sustainable energy solution, improved coastal defenses, and fresh economic prospects. Number 3. Engineering feat: the massive infrastructure behind the plan. The proposal to construct a dam across the North Sea represents an extraordinary feat of engineering, necessitating an extensive and intricate infrastructure to realize this vision. The magnitude of the project would exceed that of most contemporary engineering achievements, requiring innovative technology, substantial resources, and international cooperation. Central to this ambitious initiative is the development of a network of dams, sea gates, and tunnels aimed at managing and regulating the vast expanse of the North Sea. A key aspect of the proposal involves the establishment of massive seawalls and barriers that would extend across critical locations in the North Sea. These structures must be constructed from materials that can endure the relentless pressure of seawater, as well as the forces exerted by tides, storms, and rising sea levels. The engineering challenge lies not only in creating a resilient structure, but also in devising a system capable of withstanding centuries of erosion from one of the planet's most formidable seas. Moreover, the initiative would necessitate the implementation of large-scale sea gates to manage the water flow between the reservoir and the open ocean. These gates must operate with precision, facilitating the regulation of water levels while safeguarding against flooding during severe tidal surges or storms. Additionally, the gates would play a crucial role in the tidal energy generation system, enabling the capture of kinetic energy from the flowing water and its conversion into electricity. The dimensions of these gates would be unprecedented, demanding cutting-edge technology for automation and real-time monitoring of the process. The complexity of the project is further heightened by the necessity for underground tunnels and pipelines that will interconnect various segments of the infrastructure. These tunnels are essential for the distribution of energy, water, and resources throughout the extensive area of the dam. Additionally, they will facilitate the efficient movement of goods and individuals across regions divided by the dam's reservoir. The construction of such large-scale tunnels will demand advanced excavation methods and state-of-the-art machinery capable of operating in challenging underwater conditions. To guarantee the system's optimal functionality, a comprehensive network of sensors, computers, and monitoring systems will be required to ensure the seamless operation of the infrastructure. The control centers of the dam will oversee the management of water levels, energy generation, and safety measures, while contingency systems must be established to safeguard against potential malfunctions or severe weather conditions. In conclusion, the engineering obstacles associated with the North Sea Dam are immense, necessitating a combination of innovation, accuracy, and international collaboration. If successfully implemented, this initiative could not only transform the understanding of contemporary infrastructure, but also establish new benchmarks in large-scale environmental engineering. Number 4, climate change and the role of the North Sea Dam. As climate change progresses, the world confronts an escalating threat from rising sea levels, severe weather phenomena, and the deterioration of coastal ecosystems. In Europe, a primary and urgent issue is the susceptibility of low-lying coastal cities, particularly those located around the North Sea. An ambitious initiative to construct a dam across this crucial waterway is being promoted by some as a viable strategy to alleviate the effects of climate change, particularly concerning rising sea levels and the demand for sustainable energy sources. The increase in sea levels, attributed to the melting of polar ice and the thermal expansion of ocean waters, presents a considerable risk to the densely populated regions along the North Sea coastline. Cities such as London, Rotterdam, Hamburg, and Copenhagen face the threat of significant flooding, which could displace millions and result in economic losses amounting to billions. The proposed North Sea Dam intends to protect these coastal areas by serving as a substantial barrier against encroaching waters, mitigating storm surges, and safeguarding infrastructure from inundation. The concept of utilizing a dam as a protective measure is not unprecedented. Numerous nations, including the Netherlands, have historically depended on intricate systems of dikes and barriers to fend off the sea. Nevertheless, the North Sea Dam represents an advancement, proposing a large-scale cross-border initiative that could offer protection on a broader level. By establishing a barrier extending from the United Kingdom to Denmark, the project seeks to strengthen the entire region against the most severe consequences of climate change, thereby preserving vital urban centers and essential industries. The North Sea Dam has the potential to serve not only as a flood defense mechanism, but also as a significant contributor to the shift towards renewable energy sources. By harnessing tidal and wave energy, two plentiful yet largely underutilized resources, the dam could generate electricity for millions. As Europe aims to diminish its dependence on fossil fuels and achieve ambitious climate objectives, the dam's capacity to deliver clean, renewable energy could prove transformative in addressing climate change. Nevertheless, the environmental implications of such a large-scale initiative are considerable. Opponents contend that the construction of the dam could disrupt marine ecosystems, interfere with fish migration patterns, and harm essential habitats. While it may offer protection to human communities, the ecological repercussions could be substantial. In summary, the North Sea Dam embodies a daring effort to tackle some of the most urgent challenges of our era: climate change, rising sea levels, and the demand for sustainable energy. Although it presents a potential solution for millions, the long-term effects on both human and ecological systems remain uncertain. The discussion regarding its viability is expected to persist for many years. Number 5. Alternatives. Can we protect the North Sea without a dam? The ambitious initiative to construct a substantial dam across the North Sea may appear to be a daring approach to shield Europe's at-risk coastlines from the escalating impacts of climate change. However, the critical inquiry persists. Are there alternative methods to protect these regions without engaging in such an extensive and potentially hazardous endeavor? While the North Sea Dam has its advocates, numerous other strategies could provide effective protection with reduced environmental and financial repercussions. One prominent alternative involves the enhancement and fortification of existing flood defense mechanisms, including dikes, levees, and seawalls. The Netherlands, for instance, has dedicated decades to refining its advanced system of flooding barriers to safeguard its low-lying territories. These systems are subject to ongoing improvements, integrating the latest technologies and design advancements to address rising sea levels. Augmenting these defenses along the North Sea coastline, although perhaps less striking than a dam, could yield a more feasible and localized solution that avoids significant alterations to the marine ecosystem. Another viable strategy is the adoption of nature-based solutions. Instead of depending solely on concrete barriers, these defenses seek to leverage the capabilities of natural systems to protect coastlines. This may involve the restoration or enhancement of coastal wetlands, salt marshes, and mangrove forests, which serve as buffers against storm surges and rising waters. These ecosystems absorb excess water, diminish wave energy, and provide habitats for marine organisms. By prioritizing the restoration and conservation of these natural environments, the necessity for large-scale artificial structures could be significantly reduced while simultaneously fostering biodiversity. Managed retreat is an emerging strategy that is attracting increasing interest. In regions where the risk of flooding is too significant to effectively manage, this approach entails the deliberate relocation of communities and infrastructure away from vulnerable coastal zones. Although this method may be viewed as contentious, it is gaining acceptance in certain areas, as it recognizes the inevitability of rising sea levels and prioritizes long-term resilience over contemporary solutions. Additionally, the implementation of offshore renewable energy technologies, such as floating wind farms, can play a vital role in safeguarding the region without necessitating a physical barrier. By investing in renewable energy initiatives in the North Sea, nations can diminish their dependence on fossil fuels, thereby addressing the fundamental causes of climate change and reducing the future necessity for flood protection measures. And here we have reached the end of this video. What are your thoughts about this mega project? Share with us in the comments below. If you like our content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Till the next time, take care.